Your pass efficiency on the road of the last 2 seasons is considerably greater and better than at home. What's it been for you in these road games these last 2 years?
I think when you're on the road, you got to do a lot of things to put the offense in, situation to go down the field and score. It's more like a sense of urgency, and it shouldn't be like that, but it is because if you give a home team, any kind of life or anything like that, if you go out there and 3 and out or something, now the fans are into it and stuff like that. So I try to, put the ball in the best position to go down there and score. And once we score, we just keep doing it. And, the fans start to quiet down. So it's almost like you're playing, per se, like at home or something if you take the fans out of it.
Yeah. Do you have that itch to, after what happened in the South Alabama game where you missed some throws, to get back out there?
Oh, yeah,
I bet the bye week was just...
Yeah. I wanted to be back out there real soon. I didn't even want to have a bye week. I wanted to play on Saturday.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you watched the film, I'm sure, a couple of times. Just what was it?
Just off on some throws. Just throws that I normally make, I didn't make them that game. And I've been working really hard in practice trying to get more patience with the receivers. We've, talked it over, watched film and stuff like that. Just, trying to see the little things that the DBs are trying to do to us.
We remember from that Kentucky game last year. It was one of your better ones. I think you were like 9 of 12.
They pretty much are running the same defense. It's just about going back and watching that game. It's just, I took what they gave me. I didn't try to force the ball down the field or anything like that. If I had a big play down the field, I took it. If I didn't, I checked the ball down and, kept moving the sticks.
You guys did well on some screens in that game, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what this week's all about? Is just kind of playing within yourself, given what the defense takes you, not going for the long ball?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's just, we're trying to get back to where you were at when you played Auburn. Just taking, the short passes, and then they give you something deep, go ahead and take it and stuff like that. So, just getting back to, our style of football.
I feel like the game plan might have, not to give it away, but kind of flipped from last year. It seemed like last year they were willing to let you beat them, or at least let's see if the kid can beat us at quarterback. And they haven't stopped the run all that much this year. Do you feel like it might be a little bit more balanced?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, we're going to go out there and run our offense. And, if we're having a good day throwing the ball, we'll throw the ball. If we're running the ball really well, we're running the ball. I can't say what we're going to do. And, the coaches, I'll call the play and we'll go for it. They're going to call the play to put us in the best position. And if I don't like it, I'll change it or something like that. But we're always to be in the right play.
I was looking at the SEC stats, and you got a team in the top half of the SEC in passing production. You don't have a single receiver ranked in the top 15 there. You're really spreading the ball around.
Yeah, and like I said, you got 4 senior wide receivers. Everybody wants the ball, but the guys know that when their time comes, you got to be able to go out there and make plays. And I'm gonna put the ball in the best spot that I think that we can make plays as far as what the defense give us and stuff like that. So all our guys are hungry, and that's something you want. You don't have just one older guy that you constantly have to, we got to get him the ball, All our guys are good catching the ball, so I don't feel any kind of pressure. So we got to get this guy the ball or anything like that. I just go out there and make my reads, and whoever gets the ball gets the ball.
You talked about the defense kind of still being similar to Kentucky, but they had a lot of big-time linebackers the last few years, off in the NFL now. Do you see, not to, you guys know all about losing linebackers to the NFL, but do you see that difference there on their defense?
Definitely. I think, this year they're more prevalent, a lot more blitzes and stuff like that, so we've been, working on that kind of stuff, but, that just, it's a compliment to our offense, being able to throw the ball, people trying to stop you with blitzes and stuff like that, so you work on that a lot more, and we're comfortable with the offensive line. We're good on our IDs and stuff like that.
People expect you guys to go in and win, but you saw what happened in the South Carolina game last week where they were up 17-7 at halftime. Probably should have been up 24-7. How dangerous is this type of game when you go into a situation where people expect you to win, but you know that they can play at least one half of football and they can build off that to be able to knock off someone?
I think it goes back to last year, a UAB game. On games like that, games you're supposed to go out there and dominate the team, and even games this year. I think last year, some of the games that we were in this year, we would have found a way to lose those games. And and that just goes back to you got to play all 4 quarters. You know, those teams practice just like we practice. You know, they got scholarship guys just like us, and you know they're not just gonna lay down and just let you come into their home stadium and just run all over them and stuff like that. They're gonna play. I mean, we got to go out and we got to execute. It's more about us than them. If we go out and execute, we'll be fine. That's something we lacked on in the South Alabama game and stuff like that. So we got back to the basics and stuff like that. We worked on, you know, catching the balls and stuff on, you know, routes on air and stuff like that. So I think everybody is comfortable and, you know, excited. We had a good bye week, you know, rest some guys up and stuff like that. So we're ready to go out there and play.
Good to have Malcolm Johnson back out
Oh,
there
yeah.
practicing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a guy that could be very dangerous down the road here for you.
Yeah, he's doing really well right now. We're excited.
You talk
Not
about
that you want to give them any tips or anything, but they've got two freshmen starting for them. Just going back to your first SEC start last year against Carolina, if you had a do-over with how you saw it, what you did, what were a couple of things that you would like to have back?
I'd like to have back just, you know, when I needed to make plays, I made plays. I wasn't good at my, I wouldn't say decision making, but completion wasn't. I think I only completed like 11 passes or something like that. But when I needed to make the passes, I made them. You know, that pick at the end of the game, I wish I could have that back. The weak safety he read my eyes, went over there and intercepted the ball. We were going down there to score. That's one thing I wish I could have had back. But I mean, you can't harp on anything from last year. You just got to move forward and try not to make the same mistake this year.
Has there been a game, whether it's before that or whatever, that you've been nervous for? Because I have to imagine these two freshmen are really, really nervous about going into their first SEC game.
What I always say, if you're not nervous, you're not ready to play. No, you're always, I wouldn't call it nervousness, but you're always just excited, ready to get out there. You've been preparing all week. You're ready to go out there for the first play. And I feel comfortable when I make the first completion or I get the first hit, and then I'm ready to go and stuff like that. So that gets me going. And you know, as a freshman, it's hard to do that because, I mean, you might go out there and not complete the first 3 passes and just 3 and out. And now you're giving the ball back to giving the ball back to the other offense. So it takes a toll on you, but you just, you know, for me last year, I was just able to keep pushing because I had older guys around me that helped me make plays.
South Alabama, you tied the school record for consecutive attempts without interception. The very next throw, you threw an interception. Did you have any idea that you were close to that record?
Oh, no. I mean, you don't think about anything like that. You just go out there and play.
Wish you could have that pass back. What do you call on that play for the interception?
I mean, I'm just making a read, trying to get the ball to Arcito one-on-one, and guy just did a good job of, you know, reading the route and reading my eyes, and he made a play on the ball.
How big of a day do you think Perkins could maybe have against Kentucky, seeing what you guys were able to do last year and then what you've seen on film?
You know, when Ladarius gets going, it opens up the pass because they can't stop both. So that's one thing we try to do. And I mean, if you go back into the Detroit game, you know, I told him at halftime, I was like, all right, you got to step up. We're not able to make plays down the field throwing the ball, so you're going to have to step up and make some plays and take some pressure off some of the guys and stuff like that. So he was able to do that, and that opened up the passes and stuff like that, and we're able to, you know, complete some. So, you know, I think he will have a big day. I mean, I think he scored a touchdown in every game so far. So, you know, he's going to have a big day. He's going to be Ladarius and make plays for us.
My last question, sorry. Going into next week, I know don't look over Kentucky, I'm not telling you to do that, but going into next week, how big would a win against Kentucky set you guys up for next week at home against Tennessee?
I mean, when you go into every game, your job is to win the game. Like you said, we can't look forward to next week. We got to handle business this week and take care of business and win this game, and then we'll worry about that. Right now, we're taking it one game at a time. So right now, we feel like we played the last game, beat South Alabama, so we're 1-0. Now it's time to go back to another game, and that's how we take it.